Welcome back to Between the Baobabs, where life slows down a little. So grab a glass of something good, get comfy, and hang out with us as we dive into the fourth episode of our podcast. So hi Anna, how's your week been first of all?
My week's been good, hey. Not much to report on. Just the usual. Living it, living it.
Mm-hmm.
Got a new puppy, which is
Oh my
exciting.
goodness.
His name's Jock.
What breed?
Jack Russell.
Oh, cute. They're so cute
Mm.
when they're in their puppy form.
They are, but they're so naughty.
Tell me, how's your sleep been? Are you getting full nights of sleep with Jock in your life now?
What is that? What's a full night of sleep?
Oh,
No, not really. He's up at the crack of dawn because he needs to pee every few hours,
oh,
but I
lovely.
understand that.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, how does that make it harder to
Yeah.
leave? Because you're leaving to Luangwa for your guide training soon. Does it make it
Oh,
harder to leave, having to say
yes.
bye to your new puppy?
Of course it does. Of
Oh.
course it does. Sorry, he is sitting next to me. I'm not just talking like that into the microphone. Um,
We all have a puppy voice.
yeah. Yes. And yeah, and we're also packing. So the room is it went from slightly clean to hurricane all over again, just trying to get stuff together. Um, but yeah,
Oh my
I
goodness. How
leave
many months are you away for, or how long will you be away for that you've had to pack?
hopefully just 1 month. Yeah,
Okay.
and to pack food. Food's sorted. Food is one side. I got all the dry stuff, so like rice, macaroni, that type of stuff. But all the meat,
Very
I will
smart, the
be,
staples.
yeah, the meat and stuff, I'll get that side. Um, yeah.
Okay.
This is, of course, Mayana shop that side, which is a little oasis when it comes to meat. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Awesome.
All right. Sand, how's your week been? Because you just started your new course, hey?
Oh gosh, yeah. My week, oh, Anna, my week was amazing. I can't even begin
Oh,
to
that's good.
explain. Yeah, I kept having to pinch myself to just realize that this sounds dramatic, but this is my new life. Like I've chosen to
Oh.
go and be a teacher and actually being in the school. Like one, it's very different from a desk job because
Hmm.
it gets me out of the house every day. So just this past week, I went to the school where I'm interning at. I got to sit in on a whole range of different levels of classes within the humanities because I'll become a humanities teacher. If you're an IB student,
Hmm.
that's individuals and societies. And it was just so, yeah, just so nice to be part of it and just to observe how it happens. And as I was watching the teachers do their thing, I was just thinking, gosh, I think I will really love this job. Like I could absolutely see myself being a teacher. So, all in all, really, really good week. I'm so happy.
Oh, that is so good. I'm so happy for
Yeah.
you. That's amazing.
Yes. And yeah,
Yes.
it's exciting.
Oh,
New beginnings for both of
very.
us.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Time to be ning. Time to be ning.
Yes,
Have you
exactly.
seen that video
The beninging.
of yes, the bening.
Yes. I have.
In the bening, in the bening. Yes.
It brings me so
For me
much
now,
joy.
I don't even say beginning anymore. I just don't know. I like it's so ingrained in my head, and I say
Mm-hmm.
it so often that in my head, in my dictionary, that's the right way to say it now.
I have that too. But you know what's so annoying is when I'm like hanging out with someone who maybe or most probably has not seen the video, and I'm like, oh yeah, in the
Mhm.
beninging. Oh yeah, we should probably start from the
Mm.
beninging. They're probably like, what on earth is this girl going on about? Because
Yeah.
they, it's usually the friends that didn't grow up on our side of the world. Um, but then it's always
Hmm.
an exciting opportunity for me to show them the video, and then it's always
Yes.
funny. But anyways, maybe we can
Yes.
get started. So,
Yes.
um,
Okay.
yeah, for our listeners, now that you've had a bit of time to get to know us, we can finally get into the fun bush stuff. I'm so
Oh,
excited.
me too.
So yeah, Anna and I have come up with a bit of a format for the podcast. We are going to have a few different series that pop up here and there. And one of them that we are really, really, really excited about is called Animals Don't Knock. And I think I mentioned this in one of the earlier episodes, but one thing that I really miss about living in the bush, especially now that I'm in Frankfurt, is just how present the animals are all the time. Like they're everywhere 24/7. And I know that can sound really daunting. And honestly, people are often quite scared of that, like the concept of animals being everywhere. But you don't actually have to be, you just need to be aware.
Mhm.
And yeah, one thing that our head guide Victor at Painted Dogs Lagoon always says, and I absolutely love this, but he always says that when you start feeling really confident in the bush, that's when you start to make mistakes. So this Animals Don't Knock series is really going to be about raising awareness, but also about sharing funny stories and learning moments along the way.
Yeah.
So we will eventually talk about the big animals, but we thought we would start with one that's often forgotten, even though it's a constant and yeah, it plays a very important
Mm.
role in the ecosystem. It does a lot of good. But also, sadly, it's also an animal that people are very scared of. Um, I wonder if anyone's already guessed
Mhm.
what the animal is that we're going to talk about today. Anna?
Our poor little friend that's
Mm-hmm.
he's misunderstood.
Yes, exactly.
Um, so today's episode is Snakes Don't Knock.
It is. So, just to give you a
Yeah.
bit of an idea, and Anna, I'm also just thinking out loud here of how
Mm.
we can do this episode. We start with sharing some snake stories, and then we will talk a bit about snakes more generally. So, why they are important, what role they play in the
Mm-hmm.
ecosystem, and why you definitely should not be canceling your flights to Zambia because of them. um,
Yes. Yes.
so, right, let's get into it.
Okay. Shall I maybe start off?
Yeah, share a story, Anna. Whatever snake story you have.
You know, there's one story that always pops into my head because now it's funny, but in the moment it was definitely not.
Yeah.
So I so we have this mutual friend, you and myself, who is friends with this
Mm-hmm.
guy who came to visit South Luangwa a few years ago now. And
Right, okay.
so this friend thought it was a good idea to inspect a snake. So we went to a swimming pool at one of the camps in South Luangwa, and as we were walking into the main area, the snake came slithering past, and he thought, no, let me pick it up to ID it.
Oh my
That's the
goodness,
wrong way to do
stop.
things.
Mm-hmm.
That is very much not the way to do things. You don't go, let me pick it up and then ID. No, you ID and then maybe you don't pick it up at all. Just a preference.
Sounds pretty simple enough.
Sounds that way, doesn't it? Anyways, so yes. When we came up with this topic, this was the first story that came to mind because it's got lots of lessons in it. And the first one is please don't pick up snakes. It's not clever. It's not fun. Um,
Mm-hmm.
unless you
Oh, I
really,
can't wait to
really,
hear where this
really
goes.
know what you're doing. Okay.
Yeah.
So he picks up the snake, and the snake.
Wait, just to interrupt you quickly, you know that the guy on TikTok, I think he's also on Instagram. I call him the Yoink guy. Have you seen his
Mhm.
videos? I think he lives in the Everglades and he just goes around like
Yes,
yoinking.
looking for
Yeah.
the what's it? The 6 foot something pyth something. Yeah, no, I know who you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Anyways, it'd be
Yeah.
funny if he listens to this. Would you? I wonder if our listeners
Yes.
would classify him as like a professional or just like someone being silly and incredibly lucky that he's not. I mean, actually, I don't know a lot about him. Maybe he has been bitten. Anyway, sorry, soft detour.
I think
Back
he
to you, Anna.
is. I think he is a professional. Otherwise, I don't think he'd be doing what he does.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yoink.
Anyways,
Okay.
yoink. Anyways, so this guy picks up a snake. It latches
Hmm.
onto his ring finger,
Oh my
and then
goodness.
he goes, ow, but doesn't put the snake down. Then it latches on again. Okay, so I'm fairly certain the first bite was not actually a
Mm.
bite. So, for reference, the snake that had bitten him is a stiletto. And yeah, yeah.
No.
And yeah, and stilettos it's got a fang that like sits out the back of its mouth rather than a
Right.
standard. I don't know how to describe it without actually showing a photo, but maybe we will. Maybe I could share a photo on our Instagram and Facebook. But
I
yeah,
have a
so
question. Is it
mm,
the one where like the fangs are facing back so that when it like lodges itself into your skin, it like hooks? Or am I thinking of a different snake?
no, you are correct. Their fangs do face backwards, and
Okay.
I think the first bite wasn't an actual bite, and it just skimmed him. But the second
Mm.
time, he was like, "You're not letting go. Fine, I bite."
You asked for it.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
and yeah. So we then proceed with the rest of the day. We're like, okay, we didn't ID the snake off the bat because, like, myself and this friend of ours had our suspicions of what snake it is. But we were like, okay,
Okay.
we're just going to continue. We did manage to say, okay, it's not one of the most venom snakes. It's not like a black mamba or anything, um, just based off of the shape of its head. And
Okay. Hence the relaxed response and like,
yes,
okay, we're not
yes,
racing this guy to the valley doctors or anything
not
just
yet.
yet. Okay.
Anyways, so we then sat next to the swimming pool for a while and continued the rest of our day, or well, the rest of our evening. So this happened at about 8 o'clock at night, after this mutual friend of ours had a very, very long day,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Okay, let's just see what happens." Fast forward a little bit later, we all sitting at the house, and this guy says, "No, that's still at the pool." He goes, "My finger's starting to tingle and I'm starting to feel a little bit off." And we're like, I wonder why.
Oh no.
Yeah, yeah. So we then take him back to the house, and I phoned the Valley doctor at the time. So for those of you who don't know, there's this project in South Luangwa where we rotate doctors from overseas to come and I think it's help educate the other doctors here or to just bring it more just to bring more to the area. And I phoned her and I was like, "Listen, this person's just picked up a
Mm.
snake." And she goes, "Picked up?" And I was like, "Yes, we are all not happy about the situation, but this is nevertheless what we have to deal with." And she goes, "Can you ID it?"
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
She must have been like, who is this person?
So she's like, "Can you ID it?" And I go, "Yeah, it's a stiletto." Um, this friend and I sat down, read a few snake books, and went through the apps and figured out exactly what it is against the photo that we took of the snake.
Yeah.
And she goes,
Okay.
"Okay, well, the important thing is he mustn't stress and he must stay hydrated." And
Okay, so like drink lots of water.
yes, yes. And then maybe take him into the clinic to get a drip put in because hydration is the most important thing now. Um, so we did.
Right. To what? Dilute the venom? Sorry, continue.
I think so. Yeah, so we then took him through to the clinic and they put the IV in very painfully, I might add. Um, I think because of course he's
Ooh.
already in pain, but then they then proceeded to put
Yeah.
a needle into his arm and miss a few times. So yes, by the end of this poor
Oh
man was
my
in such
goodness.
agonizing pain.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So we left him there in the clinic and we went back home, gave our numbers to the nurses, and said if there's anything, call us because at this point there's nothing more that we can do. Um, he's settled into one of the rooms. He had his IV drip, blah blah blah. Yeah. So we went home And I think it was like 2 hours later, if that, I get a phone call.
Mm-hmm.
And the nurse is
Oh
like,
my
we
God, wait,
tried to.
stop there. Did your heart stop? Were you like, oh my goodness, something's happened? Or were you more on the chill side, like, okay, everything will be fine? Because if it was me, I would be ready for the worst news.
Um, well, the thing is, stiletto venom, you might lose a finger, maybe an arm. But in my head, I'm just like,
Okay.
okay, well, I don't think he's dead. Not in 2 hours. Um, but
Right. Okay.
there's probably something gone wrong. And
Okay. Okay.
the nurse said to
So the
us,
nurse
she's,
called you.
yes, the
Yeah.
nurse called me. She's like, I was trying to get a hold of your friend. He's not picking up. Um, but I do think you need to take your friend through to the hospital, which is about 45 minutes away. So I said, okay, go ahead. We just organize the ambulance. Myself and my friend will be there soon. So I go to the
Right.
window of this friend's room and I'm like, hello, hello, is anyone here? And eventually, someone answers. So then he's like, oh, okay, let's go. So,
Just because this poor man is probably so tired, like,
mm-hmm,
just
mm-hmm.
tell us how 8 p.m. in the bush is already bedtime.
Yes. And
So he
now,
was probably already sound asleep.
oh yeah, we both were. But now we're like, okay, it's what, 10, 11 o'clock at night? And now we have to go back to the hospital. And then, oh, it was even later actually. Anyways, so
Yeah.
we then drive to the clinic. We waited for the ambulance to come, which took ages because the road between the hospital and where we were is atrocious, especially this time of year
Yeah.
because it was like green season, so there was rain and all of this. So the potholes are terrible.
Mm.
And yeah, we ended up in the ambulance driving all the way that way. This poor guy, every pothole we hit, you just see it in his face. He's like, ow, ow, the whole way.
Oh my goodness. How
And
had his condition deteriorated a lot since you said bye to him at the clinic? Like, how was he doing other
mm,
than being in a lot of pain?
I think he was in more pain, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
his his
Okay.
his persona wasn't too bad. He was still okay,
Right. Okay.
you know. Then
Still
get
conscious, all of
yes,
that stuff.
yes, very conscious because I think the pain kept him very much awake. Um,
Right.
yeah. I then tried to get a hold of one of the snake specialists in the area, tell her the situation, but I couldn't get a hold of her, I think, until the next day. Was it? Yeah. So she recommended that we just treat the symptoms because sometimes
Okay.
putting anti-venom in a situation like that can make things worse instead of better. Because you got to remember,
Mm.
anti-venom
Yeah, I've heard
comes
that.
with poison in it already to fight the poison that's in
Yeah.
your body. Anyways, so we get to the hospital. Um, they then start asking him all the same questions as the clinic. They go through the whole same procedure and everything, and he then gets put into a room. The doctor gives him a little bit of morphine to try help with the pain, and now he's gone into loopy
Right.
mode because of the drugs. So then our friend then goes, okay, I need to get back to the lodge
Mm-hmm.
because also for reference, I had already been working there, and he needed to get back because I was staying with this friend of ours in the hospital
Mm-hmm. So he had to get our mutual friend had to get back to
to the camp. Yeah,
manage the lodge and
yeah.
just, yeah, keep an eye on things. And you stayed behind with the one that got bitten.
Yes, yes. And the doctor came in. This guy was in so much pain, and then I see the sun start to rise, and I was just like, I haven't gotten any sleep. But anyways, so I was ready to throttle this guy. I was like, if the snake doesn't kill him, I will. um, but yes, we kept our patience, and
Okay.
yeah. Then later on in the day, our mutual friend came back with food. It was great, and yeah, spent another 2 days in hospital. He ended up having to cut open the wound and drain out some of some of the rottenness that was in there, some of the pus and
Right.
stuff. It was very gross. Um, but yeah, his hand was massive. The second day,
I'm sure.
it was just so swollen and sore. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, then 2 days later,
So, Anna, is that cytotoxic? Like where the muscles are affected?
no, they're actually so stiletto is neurotoxic, which is
Aha.
similar to a black mamba, but in a very, very mild type, almost. Yeah.
Okay. So that explains why his like hand had a lot of rotten flesh, and the venom had killed a lot of the nerves, I'm sure, as well, and the muscle in
Hmm.
his hand.
Hmm.
And that's where the infection came.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was my experience with a stiletto bite. I'm very grateful I wasn't the one experiencing the bite, but it did not look pleasant
Yeah,
at
I'm sure.
all. So, lesson one, do not pick up a snake if you do not know what it
Yeah.
is. Lesson two, don't ignore the bite. Try seek medical attention right away from someone who knows what they're doing. Um, and yeah, lesson three, if someone does get a bite, prepare yourself for a very, very long night.
Or 3 nights. You are an amazing friend for staying by his side. Um,
Yeah, I still hold it over him. But anyways,
Oh, well, I'm
yeah,
very glad that he came out of that all okay in the end. So I guess with stiletto
yeah,
snakes, you would only die if you let the infection continue, right? And go untreated. So that's where death would
I
come
think so.
from a neurotoxic bite.
More the infection.
Yeah.
No, no, no. With black mambas, it depends. So black mamba also has neurotoxic venom,
Yeah.
and let me just put out there,
Yeah.
stiletto snake bites are actually very common. Well, not very common, but are common. Um,
Mm-hmm.
if you take the amount of snake bites we get every year, which is not extremely high, most of them are
Mm-hmm.
stilettos or puff adders in a general sense. Yeah. And
And puff adders, I'm guessing, because they're super camouflage in dry leaves and people accidentally step on them.
very lazy creatures. They don't move.
Mm. Yeah.
They can hear you coming and they'll be like, mm-mm. Yeah, I just want 5 more minutes of sleep. Leave me alone.
If this
And then
person
we
steps on me,
accidentally
they're
step
gonna
on
know
them.
about it. I see, I
Exactly.
see. Okay.
Exactly. Um, but no fatalities have been recorded of stiletto bites. It's just you may
Okay.
lose a finger or a hand, in extreme cases, an arm, you know. Yeah.
I see, I see.
Yes. So that was a an interesting one. And if you talk to our mutual friend about it, he still cusses this guy out for what he did. Because we are all there like,
For picking the snake up in the first place.
exactly, why would you do that? Why on earth would you be that thick and pick it up?
Yeah.
But here we are.
Here we
Um,
are. And I'm
here
sure
we
he's
are.
learned he's he's lived to tell the tale and
Hmm.
share the lesson.
Hopefully he's
Okay.
learned the
Well,
lesson.
my story's not so how can I say dramatic.
Hmm.
Um but yeah, so what's kind of interesting, right, is that you know how it's been my in-laws' first full season of living at their lodge, like for the entire
Hmm.
season. And it's definitely safe to say that they've had a very snake season. And
Okay.
even before we got there, um, before the wedding, like we were hearing stories. So like one morning, someone opens the kitchen door and a snake literally like falls down from the door frame.
Oh
The
no.
person like jumps 5 meters sideways. Turns out, obviously, the snake is
Yeah.
harmless. That's maybe already an important point, is that most of them really are harmless. in the
Yes, but
bush.
until you know what it is, react like it's
Mm-hmm.
not harmless.
Yes.
Until
Jump
you can
five
confirm.
meters away. Yes.
Yes.
Um, yeah, and what we realized during that first season is that when we built the lodge, we did one thing slightly wrong.
Mm.
Um, we absolutely love termite mounds. They're beautiful, they're part of the ecosystem, they're part of the landscape. And one of our big goals at the lodge is to interfere as little as possible with the natural environment, right?
Yeah,
But the problem is that snakes also love termite mounds, right? They're
of
cool, like the
course.
temperature's not too high, they're
Yeah.
deep, they're the
Oh
perfect
no.
shelter.
Mm-hmm.
And because I'm talking about termite mounds, I wanted, like, I did a little bit of research. I'm going to just quickly tell you about it. So, termite mounds are actually way more than just big hills of soil. They're
Mm-hmm.
basically like these natural climate controlled homes for termite colonies. And on the
Mm-hmm.
inside, there's this whole network of tunnels and chambers that keeps the temperature and humidity like very stable,
Oh
even when
wow.
it's really hot outside. And so the way they do it is actually really cool. Like the mound is almost breathing. So during the day,
That is
when the
so
sun heats
cool.
up, yeah. So when the sun is heating up the outside of the termite mound, the warm air on the inside rises up through these like chimney like tunnels, and then the
Mm-hmm.
cooler air gets pulled in from lower down, right? But then in the
That
night,
is
when it's slightly
insane.
colder outside,
Mm-hmm.
the whole thing reverses. So warm air gets pushed out and fresh air comes back in. So you've basically got this constant airflow happening, right? And that keeps the
Yeah.
mound ventilated and basically comfortable all the time. A very nice home for
Oh,
creatures.
that is so
um,
clever. I wonder if we could ever
Nature's amazing.
master architecture like that.
Yeah, we have a lot to learn. I mean, if ever we need ideas, we need to take notes from nature, because
Yes.
that is just amazing. So that's why I wanted to talk a little bit about termite mounds. And also, termite mounds actually help to move water and nutrients through the soil. So you'll often find that plants grow better around them as well,
Mm-hmm.
which means they're also just very important for the whole ecosystem. And it's also not like these mounds pop up overnight either, you know? Like big termite mounds can take years to build. So, we didn't want to break down this termite mound just because we were building our lodge, our dining platform around this mound, you know?
Yeah.
But as you can
Respectful.
imagine, exactly, but what are
Mm.
termite mounds perfect for? Snakes, and for the animals that the snakes like to eat, right? So this brings me
Oh
back to the
no.
story. um,
I can see where
so
this is going.
mm-hmm, you know where the termite mound was at the lodge, right? It was literally right where the dining platform was. We had built the dining platform around this termite mound.
Hmm.
Now, Anna, can you
Yes.
tell me what happens at a dining platform that might affect the ecosystem or the food chain for snakes?
For snakes?
Yeah.
Wow, I think a lot of their food comes to
Mm-hmm.
eat our food.
Yes. Thank you.
So we attract other animals with our food, and those animals attract snakes for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So you can imagine, I mean, the dining platform, right? It's a platform. And long story short, crumbs from breakfast, toasts, and
Um,
cereals and food scraps all fall through the cracks, right?
oh no.
And who likes those crumbs? Mice,
Mice,
right? And
rats.
suddenly you've created a whole little food chain for, mice, snakes, oh, and mongooses.
You've created a buffet for snakes as well.
Yes, all
Yeah.
inclusive hotel. So, uh-huh. One evening, we're sitting at
Mm-hmm.
dinner. People are just chatting, and Yoshka, who he somehow has absolute eagle ears in the bush, but then funnily enough, he never hears me
Mhm.
when I talk to him at home. But that's another story.
Um, I don't know if that has anything to do with his hearing ability, more
Mm-hmm.
like his hearing wanting to.
Yes, exact, precisely. Um,
Selective, very selective.
exactly. And his selective hearing leads him to say, I think that's a snake because he hears like a rustling in the leaves, literally just like 5 meters away.
Hmm.
And sure enough, he goes and there's a very slow moving puff adder like right near the dining platform. And it's funny because you say they're very
Oh
lazy,
my
they're
word.
very sluggish, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
think that there's a picture, like the pictures that I sent you for our socials, that's the same puff adder that that he spotted.
Oh my word.
Yeah, and the crazy thing about this is that a few nights before that, we'd actually seen a big, long black snake come out of the termite mound. Now, Anna, what does everyone immediately
Okay.
assume when they see a black snake? What kind of snake do they think it is?
Oh, it has to be a black mamba.
Yeah,
Has
that's
to
what I
be.
thought too. Apparently, huge misconception.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, I think every time you see a black snake, you kind of think, oh, black mamba, but apparently they're actually far less common than people think.
Yeah.
Um, but a Mozambique spitting cobra or a blackneck spitting cobra is what it turned out to be. We did some
Hmm.
research and asked some experts. And it's also not exactly the dinner guest that you're hoping for. But, anyways,
No,
um, at this
no,
point,
he
obviously,
is
we're a little
not.
bit on edge because, like,
Hmm.
we have our wedding coming up in a few days. Uh, Before we arrived, snakes were everywhere, and now we are even spotting
Hmm.
these snakes. They're more venomous than you'd like them to be. Um,
Hmm.
and we've got a puff adder near the dining area. We've seen a cobra nearby, and interestingly, puff adders do eat other snakes, right, Anna?
I think so, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah. But like you would think that the puff adder might be hunting the cobra, right? Because I
Hmm.
think I think when we were there, one of the experts said how um, the puffy would be eating or hunting the other snakes.
Okay.
But like here's the thing, puff adders, how can I say? Like if the puff adder has nicely very well fed mice, why would he hunt the cobra, right?
Hmm.
So they're all just living a happy coexistence, no drama. um, and yeah, anyways, luckily there's this incredible snake awareness program in Mfui, um, run by an incredible expert. And we will hopefully have her on the show at some point to educate us more. But she came to the lodge to meet with us and everybody working there, and she basically told us that this termite mound next to the dining platform was essentially like a five-star hotel. Like it was like an
Mm.
all-inclusive luxury hotel for
Hmm.
snakes. There's food everywhere. There's shelter right next door. Why would they want to leave, you know? So yeah,
Yeah,
we
exactly. You guys made such a perfect cozy home for them.
exactly. So sadly, we made the call to remove the termite mound. We
Mm.
found some massive termites inside. I have a picture. I'll send it to you and we can put that on our socials.
Yes,
Um, and I think termites are also very cool.
they are.
The queen was massive.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
yes, and one big takeaway from all of this is that snakes aren't there for our entertainment. They
Mhm.
are there because we provide food, we provide shelter. We built an all inclusive resort, not just for guests, but
Yep,
accidentally for rodents too.
yep.
And because the rodents had so much food, the snakes had no real need to hunt each other. And it's
Yeah.
just a very good reminder that we are in their world, not
Yes,
the other way around. And
very true.
the more that we respect that, the safer and calmer everything is.
Yes, 100%. Oh my goodness, that is
Yeah.
insane. And especially like considering it was right before the wedding. I remember you guys
Mm-hmm.
sending out messages to all your guests being like, please stay on
Yeah.
the pathways. um, just because we don't know what's in the leaves.
I was stressing. I was
Hmm.
imagining somebody accidentally stepping on a venomous snake and something
Yeah,
dramatic happening. It's also, my brain always assumes the worst. But
yeah.
um, as you know, in the dry season, which is when we had the wedding, there's lots
Mhm.
of dry leaves on the ground. And that's where puffies like to chill. They blend in very nicely.
They do.
And yeah, we
Yeah.
were very lucky not to have um, anything
Any,
happen. But what's
yeah.
funny is that we didn't actually spot any snakes after the wedding. I think all of the people being there
Mm.
might have scared them off, poor things. But
They
yeah.
don't really like people. They don't like conflict with us, so
Yeah.
they would prefer to just move off rather than
Yeah, they're not going to try to attack you. They
no.
don't want to be there either. They are very shy, and if you leave them alone, they'll leave you alone.
Exactly, exactly. And don't corner them. Don't put them in a stressful situation because that's when they lash out. It's like us as well. If we get put into a very
Yeah.
stressful corner where, your natural instinct is either fight or flight, if you can't flight, you're going to come out swinging. And that's exactly what happens with snakes
Mm-hmm.
as well. So, yeah,
Exactly.
if you don't step on them, if you don't
Yeah.
corner them, you'll be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So, especially since we're talking about snakes and there are so many preconceptions around them,
Yeah.
one thing I've been really aware of is how many African myths exist around animals in general.
Mm-hmm.
And I was actually thinking this could be a fun thing to do every episode where we have like a little myth segment.
Yes.
So, Anna, I have a
Mm-hmm.
myth for today.
Okay.
Um, hmm I don't want to generalize and say that this is an African myth as a whole, but it's something I've heard in parts of southeastern Africa, so especially in Malawi and Zambia.
Okay.
But this myth is to do with a python.
Okay. Interesting. It's one of my favorite snakes.
Hmm
The rock python. So stunning.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, you're not supposed to kill pythons because the belief is that if you do, it brings drought. And if you come across a dead python, you shouldn't just leave it where it is. You're meant to take it and put it in water, like any water, really, like a well, a
Oh,
dam, or a lake, um,
okay.
all as a way to prevent drought.
That is quite interesting.
Yeah, yeah,
Because,
right?
I mean, I knew about the drought thing. That one's very common. But I didn't know
Yeah,
that you had to go and put it in water to prevent the drought. I don't know. That is so interesting.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. And like, I find it's so cool
Hmm.
how often animals are linked to natural phenomena. Like, whether you want to call it divine or spiritual or environmental,
Hmm. Hmm.
just how strong a role these myths play in how people perceive certain animals. So, yes.
Well, I like that one because it stops people from killing pythons, considering
Yes.
that they are actually rare and I don't think they're endangered, but they are. There's a second step to that. Not
Right.
endangered,
Threatened?
but very vulnerable.
Yeah.
Very vulnerable. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Thanks for that. That was very interesting.
You are welcome. Thanks to my dad. I just asked him. He was my
Yeah.
research source.
Never mind ChatGPT. We've got the old-fashioned, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. But I was wondering, do you want to know a little bit more? I know I've been throwing around a few facts here and there, but do you want to maybe get into a bit of a deeper dive
That would be
into
amazing.
snakes?
I have lots to learn. Let's do it.
Okay. So, there are about 7 to 8 very highly dangerous snakes in South Luangwa specifically.
Okay.
Um, do you want to maybe give us a guess of how many you could name?
So, how many venomous snakes there are in South Luangwa?
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
my
There
god,
should
this
be
is
about 7.
really testing my knowledge. Okay, 7.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. Definitely a black mamba. Definitely a puff adder,
Mm-hmm.
because we've been talking about them.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a stiletto. So that's 3. Um,
No, no, no.
hmm.
Snakes that could really kill you. The ones that will
Snakes that
put
could really
you
kill you.
into your wooden jacket.
Okay. Black mamba.
Yes. Okay.
Puffy. Can I say puff
Yes.
adder? Will that? Okay.
Yeah.
Um, Can I say boomslang?
Yes.
Okay, so that's three. Uh,
Hmm. There
oh,
was two in your story
um,
that you haven't
oh,
mentioned.
Black neck Mozambique spitting cobra.
Mozambican spitting cobra,
Okay,
black-necked spitting cobra.
okay. Am I missing
You're
another
on
one?
five. You're on five.
What about those ones that look like um, twigs? Twig snake.
There you go. Yeah,
Will that send you straight to your coffin?
they can.
Okay. Two more, right?
One more.
One more.
Very rare.
I don't know. You're gonna have to help me out.
Okay. The last one that you're missing is a night adder.
Yes. Okay.
They're very, very uncommon.
Right.
If you do see them, you're very, very lucky. As long
Okay.
as you don't get bitten, then you're fine. Don't pick it up.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, all right. So maybe I'll just get into these snakes. What you might be surprised to hear is that the black mamba is not actually the most venomous.
That is
It's the
surprising.
most dangerous, but it's not the most venomous.
Question.
Yes.
Why is it the most dangerous?
So the black mamba gets perceived as the most dangerous because of its aggression. So it is the most likely to attack you if you put it in a corner. They have very
Right.
fast
Okay.
reacting venom. They are more likely to push a full dose of venom into you if they feel threatened.
Hmm. Okay.
So, yes, that's why they are considered the most dangerous, is because they are the most aggressive, I believe.
I see. I
Okay?
see.
But if we are talking about venom, like potency and that type of thing, then the number one most venomous snake we have is the boomslang. Then it's actually
Oh
the vine
yes.
snake, the twig snake that you talked about.
Okay.
Now, boomslang is less likely to bite. They're not very aggressive, but they are the most potent. Then the vine
Right.
snake, which I believe he has back, like rear fang. So they need to open their mouth really, really wide to latch on to bite you. And it's very
Mm-hmm.
unlikely that they'll do that. But please don't go testing these theories.
Yes. Don't you worry. I am staying well away.
Please do. The number three is black mamba. Four is Mozambican spitting cobra. Five is black-necked spitting cobra. And six is your puff adder. And then seven is the night adder.
Okay, and remind me, the scale is level of like life-threatening um characteristics or like
So,
venom.
not necessarily life-threatening, otherwise black mamba would be at
Okay.
the top. This is potency of venom per
I see.
milligram
Okay.
that you, yeah. So, like, depending on the dosage, they could actually be less
Mm-hmm.
threatening because it's very, very rare that, like, a vine snake will bite you or um, a boomslang. But they are the ones that will, like, if they do put a full dose into you, you're not coming away
Right,
from
I
that one.
see. Okay, so we will stay away from those snakes.
Then we just say night night. Yes. Um. Also, so there's the snakes get characterized also by
Mm-hmm.
the types of venom that they use. Most of our snakes are cytotoxic. So you've got the Mozambican spitting cobra, the blackneck spitting cobra, puff adders, and night adder are all cytotoxic
Okay.
snakes, which they will destroy the tissue in your
Oh,
muscles.
right.
So if
Yeah.
you've ever seen someone been bitten by a puff adder, their bite mark will go a very
Yeah.
dark black and it will start to rot.
Oh, do you remember Tyson, old Staffy on
Yeah.
the farm?
Yeah.
So he actually got bitten by a puffy,
Oh.
and he survived.
Yeah.
But I was very prepared to, you know, have to say
Bury
bye to
him.
him on that
Mm.
first night. Yeah. But
Shame,
his
no.
whole face like puffed up because it was on his neck that he got bitten.
Oh.
But I just remember like irrigating the wound a lot, I think. And
Mhm.
he pulled
Mhm.
through. But yeah, so now every time I think of puff adders, that's how I remember that they
Yeah.
destroy muscles and tissue because of the swelling. And
Mm.
he needed a lot of medical attention, but he was fine. Yeah.
Well, a friend of my dad actually got bitten by a puff adder
Yeah.
back in Zimbabwe. So when my dad was living in Zimbabwe when he was a kid, back then it was still known as Rhodesia.
Yeah.
But this kid, they were neighbors apparently, but neighbors living kilometers away from each other.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He he went to bed one night and he came to his parents and he goes, "Mom, Dad, there's something that stinks like it's rotten in my room."
Oh.
So they went and they searched the room, they searched the bed, nothing. The next night, same thing. Goes to his parents, says there's something rotten in my room. I don't know
Yeah.
what it is. Parents search the bed, da da da, found nothing. Then the last night, he got bitten in the face by a puff adder. Yeah. And they rushed him to hospital. He made it, he survived,
Oh,
but
thank
the
goodness.
whole left side of his face went paralyzed because obviously
Poor
it's damaged
kid.
all those tissues to hold it up.
Yeah.
Well, apparently it worked really well when he became a teenager to get the girls,
Aha,
more
yeah.
scars and all of that.
Great story to
So,
share. Like he
do we
survived a
really
puff adder
feel bad
bite.
for him?
No,
Yeah,
I think that's a
exactly.
blessing in disguise, a big fat blessing in disguise.
Yeah.
But what was the rotten smell
Anyways,
that he kept smelling?
the breath, the breath of the puff adder. Yeah, they were that close. Like he was that close to the snake.
Do puff adders actively
Yeah.
hunt you? Like, do you think this puff adder was like
No.
watching his movements every night?
No, I think he was just looking for warmth and the bed was the warmest. And I don't think the puff adder
Okay.
realized that this was a person making the bed warm
Right.
until the third night. And he was like, oh, this is a human being.
Oh my goodness. So, that's something
Yeah.
new I've learned. Puffies have bad breath.
Hmm. Yeah. No, great lesson.
Wow. That's a crazy
Also
story.
check your bed before you go to bed.
Mm-hmm,
Mm.
mm-hmm. Absolutely. Okay.
And then the second most common is hemotoxic.
Mm.
So the hemotoxic ones are your vine snakes and boomslang,
Okay.
and attack their venom attacks blood clots and your blood circulation. So you'll you'll see people who've been bitten, they tend to bleed out of everywhere because your body's now not clotting the way it should be.
Right.
So
I feel like that's the scariest one. Like if
yeah,
I had to
no,
choose
definitely. It's not.
I'd which venomous snake I'd like to get bitten by, it would definitely not be a hemotoxic venom one.
Yeah. No, no, those are not fun.
Yeah.
They don't sound very nice. Um, and then the third most common is your neurotoxic, which is your black mamba, as we discussed, and the stiletto.
Right.
Now, this attacks your nervous system. Reports have come through that when you get bitten by a black mamba, you go but you go paralytic, so you have no control. You go paralyzed, and then it slowly starts to kill you.
Mm.
But yeah,
Okay.
on the plus side,
There's a plus side.
this doesn't happen often, and most of
Mm-hmm.
this research is done in labs or in a controlled environment. So, yeah, there are very few
Mm.
snake bite reports. You hear of them here and there, but generally in areas where there's lots of people, as we said, snakes tend to avoid that conflict. They don't want to fight us, we don't want to fight them. It is a
Yeah.
very mutual decision to stay away from each other
Yeah.
unless you go picking
Exactly,
them up.
yeah. So if you are listening to this and you are flying out to Zambia in the coming weeks or months, please don't go cancel your flights. You don't need to.
Mhm.
You will be fine. These
No,
snakes are not interested in harming you.
there is a very low chance of you actually seeing any snakes, and if you do, you are very lucky, and the chances are you will see them long before any issues.
Mm-hmm.
And all our camps, all safari camps are aware of this possible danger, so we do go the extra mile. We check rooms before clients come in. We make sure that our spaces are safe. And also, most of these camps have a lot of people moving up and down, so snakes don't want to be in that conflicted area. But if they do
Yeah.
come, there are a lot of eyes around looking for issues, if there are any.
Mm-hmm.
So it is very safe. Please do not cancel your flight.
Exactly. Okay. That was very
Yeah.
interesting. Thank you, Anna. I
You're
need to
welcome.
go and brush up on my type of venoms information, but after you've enlightened me with all of that,
Yeah.
I'm feeling more interested. Yeah.
They're very interesting animals.
They are.
Mm.
And we will definitely do another snake episode, I
Yeah.
think. We'll get some experts on to edumacate us.
Hopefully, hopefully.
Yeah.
Edumacate.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Well, now that I have given you a little bit of insight,
Mm-hmm.
um, I wanted to play a very fun game with you and our listeners,
Okay.
and it is Two Truths and a Lie.
I love that game.
Yeah, so do I. So much
I have
fun.
to guess which one's a lie, right?
Yes, you do. Okay, so I've written down 3 statements, and you're gonna have to listen to them very carefully because I formulated them a bit like an exam question built to trip you up.
Okay.
Okay, so for all our listeners, please, you also more than welcome to take part. I will put up an Instagram post about this Two Truths and a Lie, and you can let us know if you got it right or if you didn't. Um, yeah. Shall we begin?
Okay.
Cheska, are you ready?
Let's begin.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Statement 1. In South Luangwa, puff adders are most often encountered along game paths and ravine edges, not because they prefer people, but because these routes overlap with the movement paths of their primary prey.
Okay.
Did you get that?
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. You can go to statement 2.
All right. Statement number 2. The majority of confirmed snake bites incidents in South Luangwa occur during the cooler months, not the hottest part of the year, due to increased human movement and reduced snake escape behavior.
Oh, interesting.
Mhm.
Okay. I actually don't know, but I'm going to guess. Okay. Statement 3.
Statement 3. Rock pythons in South Luangwa regularly prey on adult impala and are considered a significant population level predator of medium antelope in the valley.
Interesting. Medium antelope. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Right. That's kind of hard, but I think I've got it.
Okay.
So, for the first statement,
Mm.
I think that's correct
Okay.
because it I mean just based off of like where I've experienced or encountered or heard of people encountering puffies,
Mm-hmm.
it's in those places that you described, like ravines and what was it? You said paths, but like on
Mm-hmm.
the side of pathways.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, in the dry season when there are loads of leaves and you sweep those to the side so that people can walk past, that's probably where the puffies like to chill.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
So statement
so
1
I think
true.
statement 1 is the truth.
Okay.
Yeah. Statement 2 I wasn't so sure about,
Okay.
but then um, Wait, can you remind me what statement 2 was again? I put correct here, question mark. What was it again?
Okay. The majority of confirmed snakebite incidents in South Luangwa occur during the cooler months, not the hottest part of the year, due to increased human movement and reduced snake escape behavior.
Yes, so I think that one is correct as well,
Mhm.
but I'm just guessing here, and I think it's correct because uh, the cooler months are when there are more tourists, I think,
Mhm.
because there's this idea that you will see more game on safari because everything isn't fully grown and it's easier to spot
Yeah.
animals.
Yeah.
So it would make sense that more human activity equals more snake encounters.
Mhm. And not
So I
just
put statement 2 as correct.
to not terrify our listeners that are from abroad, it's also because
Yeah.
in the local, like in towns and in village areas, people are walking up and down more often because it's not dramatically hot. It's bearable. So people
Right.
are
Yeah.
moving a bit more. People are playing soccer games. People are, and a ball gets kicked out of space, and then you go looking for it in the long grass, and then you trip over something. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. And then statement 3.
Statement three.
You were getting me at the beginning because you've worded them so scientifically
Uh
and
huh.
so like professionally. I'm like, oh, they're all right. But the part that I'm doubtful about is the adult impala part. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like why would the snake waste its energy on trying to eat an adult impala when it
Mm-hmm.
can probably snack on a baby one?
And it could just snack.
So
Okay.
snack. Or maybe it's just easier for them to but also I know that like I have seen pictures and heard stories and even on the farm, um and we can maybe put up a picture for those who aren't too squeamish, but um a python had a whole, was it a young bushbuck, I don't know, but it's crazy how much their skin stretches and they will
Yeah.
literally digest that animal for days, right? So then they
Mm-hmm.
don't have to hunt anymore. So maybe the adult impala are the better ones. But you also had a key term there, medium
Mm-hmm.
um,
Medium antelope.
antelope. I feel like it's not really, I mean, medium, but is it maybe more the smaller antelope? So that's why I thought statement 3 was the false one.
Okay. Lock in. Statement three.
Yeah. Those, I submit my answers.
You are correct.
Okay, fun. Okay, yay.
Okay, so statement number three is in fact the lie.
Okay,
African rock pythons can take medium antelope occasionally, but it's very uncommon.
okay.
Adult impala kills are rare and mostly opportunistic. So yeah, they are also not a significant population level predator in South Luangwa. And yeah, they mainly prey on birds, small to medium mammals, juvenile antelope, warthog piglets, the like. They
Mm-hmm.
prefer smaller things that they can take on quite easily and just swallow and then move on.
Right.
Um, so yeah, the statement
Ah.
does sound right because of a few famous incidents. Like you said, you do get there are photos out there of pythons taking on a whole adult impala or something.
Yeah.
But those, as I said, are very, very rare.
Okay.
So yes, the statement was designed to trip you up, which I'll take great pride in.
But it did not fool me.
Well done, Jessica. Well
You
done.
did good. We should do this more often in our.
We
I mean,
should.
listeners, let us know what you think. But I think this
Yeah.
two truths and a lie thing could be so much fun. And, when we do other animals.
Yeah. I also think doing a myth an episode is also quite fun.
Yes, I absolutely agree. I think
Yeah.
that there's a myth for every animal. And we can learn a lot about how
I'm
people
sure there
perceive
is.
animals through myths. So,
Yeah.
well, thank you
Yeah.
everybody for joining us on this episode about snakes. And tune in next time for another episode of Animals Don't Knock, where we will be talking about an animal that is definitely not as small or hidden away as a snake. It's big and impossible to ignore. Don't know if anyone can guess. Annalise, what are we
Hmm.
discussing in our next episode?
Our famous elephants.
Levelance! Exactly. Okay. Thank you. Bye.